Foremost, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawah, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the Millstone, which rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us this truth. The Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yeramiah Kazak, back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Those are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and the Shalawam Kadash, the Paleo Hebrew. Alright, this lesson will be entitled "They Count on You to Fall." Okay, and they being Esau, Edom, and the other nations that have came together and are confederate against us, against Yasharahla. Okay, against the Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Right at the end of the day. So I want to go into Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, and I just want to read a little bit, going down to the 7th verse. And we're going to get it right here. The word that Yahawah spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Now, that land today would be what? Would be America. Okay, at the end of the day, Babylon, right? The virgin daughter, the whore at the end of the day. Right, what is she known as, man? The harlot, right? The whore that sits upon many waters. Okay, you can recognize and look at that America has over 800 bases, okay, all over this planet and more, because you have black sites, you have things that they're not putting stats out there for, right? So it's probably, way over 800, right? So we can see that America has the largest Navy, right? They have about 10 aircraft carriers on the sea right now, right? And Russia, I believe Russia only has 2, maybe 3, and China around the same number. Okay, so their production of naval ships is not at the height of America. They have destroyers, they have frigates. Me being in the military, they have what? I know a little bit. They had subs. Okay, they have a massive amount, an arsenal of ships at their hands. So this the whore that sits upon many waters. She's upon many waters. Many military bases all over this planet, from Antarctica to Alaska, right? From North America to Antarctica. Okay, all over this planet. So this right here is talking about Babylon. This is where we are, according to Jeremiah 50 and 33. The Latinos and Native Americans and the Southern Kingdom, right? Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom being persecuted, being in captivity together, right? And their enemies holding them fast, meaning they won't let us go. Okay? So verse 2, declare... Man, it's lucky. My daughter was asleep. Go back to sleep, baby. Yeah, she's going back to sleep, man. It's lucky. Alright. Verse 2, declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not, say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. How is that? We're exposing, we're letting you know about these idols, we're letting you know about Bel, we're letting you know about Moloch, we're letting you know about Astaroth. We're breaking down these strongholds which have been laid over our people, right? And exposing these false gods, these false deities to be what they are, right? For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. It's a future prophecy, letting you know that this land will be desolate. Nobody will dwell here ever again. Okay, ain't no rebuilding America, ain't no Mad Max, ain't no even Book of Eli, ain't none of that happening. Okay, you're not gonna rebuild after the ICBM missiles hit this place. Okay, it will be over with, it will be done, it will be desolate, right? This will be the lake of fire for a point in time. For a point in time, it will burn, but it will eventually burn out. It will be a desolate wilderness. Spoke of in Joel, the 3rd chapter, verse 4. And really in this, declare ye among the nations and publish. Who is doing that? The Israelites, right? The prophets, the brothers. We're declaring and publishing. We're making it known, right? By putting out these lessons, by hitting the corners, etc., etc. We're declaring amongst, all these people at the end of the day. Keeping it going. This is verse 4. In those days and in that time, saith Yahawah, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek Yahawah their power. That's what's happening. Okay? You have a massive amount of northern kingdom, a massive amount of southern kingdom in the Americas. Now we are scattered, but the bulk of both kingdoms, right, is in the Americas, from North America to South America, right? And then as you see the migrants coming in, majority of both is coming into America for either destruction or salvation, doom or salvation, right? At the end of the day. Verse 5, they shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to Yahawah in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people, and what is that? Right? Going into that new covenant. Because the old covenant, we can't live according to the law. We can't live by the law. I did a lesson yesterday. I got to upload it. But I did a lesson on Galatians, the 5th chapter, right? Where the circumcision will not save you, right? Being under the law and keeping the law to the best of your ability. I mean, you're trying to keep the law to save you, the law is not going to save you. You're basically putting Yahawashi back up on the cross. You're trying to keep the law, right? Now, we keep the law to the best of our ability, as I was saying, but the law will not save us. We are saved by faith and works, right? At the end of the day. Now, keeping it going, verse 6. So, really, verse 5, that perpetual covenant, perpetual means continuous, ongoing. That perpetual covenant is speaking about the new covenant, which we are not in because we are under grace. Once we are in that new covenant, we will have everlasting bodies. We will keep the laws, commandments, and statutes perfectly, right? We won't have to teach our brothers and sisters. We will no longer be on the YouTube or none of that, man. Right? These heathen nations will have to come up and get that understanding from us, and they'll have to, they'll begin to learn like we learn at this point in time. So they'll be in this type of phase. They'll be going through it, right, for 1,000 years, and then the Edomites will be destroyed as a nation, and those heathen nations will be allowed to go back into their lands, which Yahawah had, selected for them. But they will what? They will still keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. Now, us being in our everlasting bodies, we will perfectly keep everything, right? And we will rule. We will be kings and priests, the men and the women. As Elder Apostle Tahar said, you're just going to be barefoot and pregnant, man. You're going to have everything you need, everything you want for, everything you desire, right? But your role as a woman is going to be that. It's going to no more be no independent-minded, liberty type stuff. Right? This is the most liberty that you women will ever get, and I know you hate to hear that. If you wicked, right? Trust and believe that. A lot of women hate the scriptures because they hate Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and that will be shown. Okay, verse 6. My people have been lost. Sheep, they're shepherds. Who the shepherds? The pastors, the so-called prophets, right? These individuals that stand up and claiming to know the way, but they don't know the way, such as your Malcolm X's, your Martin Luther King's, your Moores, right? Your Marcus Garvey, etc., etc. They do not know the way. They have led our people astray. So, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten the resting place. We're supposed to rest in that strong tower, which is the name of Yahawah, in the doctrine, in the understanding, in the truth, in the righteousness, right? All that found them have devoured them. And their adversary said, we offend not, getting to the point of the lesson, because they have sinned against Yahawah, the habitation of justice, even Yahawah, the hope of their fathers. So, going into it more so is everything. I have posted a video up on the TikTok about, because I cut my hair recently, right? And so I was like, try to get some waves or whatever. Or at least just brush my hair, right? So I went into the beauty spot, the little store, you go get the brushes, and guess what? All them brushes in there is made from boar bristles. Every single brush, for men, even the beard brush is made from boar bristles. So my rib ordered me a brush made from Tampico. It's like a Mexican fruit or Mexican herb or something, but got it offline, cause, and they be more expensive than, you go in the beauty supply and they're more expensive than those boar bristle brushes. But we don't even supposed to touch the pig, right? Understanding when you brushing your hair, whatever you brushing your hair is, your body, your skin, because this is your biggest organ, is absorbing that stuff, right? You would be like, why can't we touch the pig? Because the pig, what? Parasites, full of diseases, things of that nature, is on the pig, right? All the way down to its hair, right? Hair, like it takes in a lot of toxins, right? Sweat glands. Where you sweat, most of the parts on your body where you sweat, you have hair. Your armpits, right? Your private areas, your head, your beard, your face. You sweat a lot, and that hair helps to take those toxins and things of that nature. But that's why you take a shower, you wash. So the hair from the pig, which all them boar bristles is from pig ass hair. That's what I looked it up, and we ain't gonna touch them. Not saying that, because some individuals on the post was like, man, y'all being over righteous, man. You could use a boar brush. Like, no, you don't know. At the end of the day, no. Okay? Just put in a little effort. Don't be lazy and get a brush that's not made from the pig, man. That's a simple thing to do, right? Now, what Esau counts on you to do is to not care about the law. It's to go against the law. It's to be like, yeah, whatever, man, it's just a brush, right? At the end of the day. And then that mindset, you start using that mindset, guess what? It's going to go into you eating. It's going to go into the food that you get. You may see yogurt. It's a lot of pork in yogurt. It's a lot of pork in jello. It's a lot of pork in oodles and noodles, ramen noodles, right? It's pork in ranch, certain ranches. It's pork in that. It's pork in gummy worms. Right? It's damn near all these, anything in that convenience store is damn near pork in all of that. Right? Now, Esau counts on you to offend Yahawah. Once again, let's read it. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversary said, we offend not. We offend not. That's what they're saying. Because they have sinned against Yahawah. The habitation of justice, even Yahawah, the hope of their fathers. So with that being said, you're supposed to be in the valley of the shadow of death, understanding we in Babylon, we in the midst of evil. So much evil is around us. But we supposed to be strong in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi and not fall to all this wickedness that's around us. So you're supposed to, you see, like we pulled up at the Trader Joe's, man, and automatically we saw this mole individual, right? And he was like, he's caught up. Individuals caught up out here. It's vexation. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. You're gonna have so much vexation in this nation, but you can't let it affect you to the point where you wanna, fight or whatever. You wanna get carnal, right? So this is Ecclesiastes 1:12 going down. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem. And I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. The sore travail have power given to the sons of men to be exercised therewith. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. This is a life full of sorrow, full of pain, full of annoyance, full of ignorance for individuals that don't have Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Right? Now, if you in this truth has made you free. Right? So now we are losing that ignorance that we were once in, right? That Yahawah winked at, but now he's calling all men to repent and to get right, to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. Okay? So, but hey, our brothers and sisters, most of them, they still in ignorance. So what do? We stand on the corner, we do these lessons, we try to teach them, we try to give them the light. If they deny it, after 2 admonitions, hey, we gotta keep it moving. They're gonna continue to walk in ignorance. They're gonna continue to move in a sottish type of behavior, right? Not understanding the correct way to go when it was given to you. You had an opportunity. Yahawah is a just power. He has mercy. He's everlasting mercy. So he gives you that opportunity to turn to him, to get right with him. And if you reject it, and ultimately, hey, Amos 9 and 10, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, right? Because you didn't feel like the sword was going to come to this planet. You didn't feel like the sword was going to come to this land. You thought Jeremiah 50 going down to 7, you thought that northern country, that ain't speaking about now. That's speaking about Babylon back in the day. No, man, that ain't what it's talking about. All right? Even if you look into the history, Northern Kingdom was not with us in Babylon back in the day. Northern Kingdom was in America. They left the Assyrian captivity and went to the Americas, according to 2nd Esdras 13th chapter, verse 40, right? So we were not oppressed together in Iraq, ancient Babylon. We are oppressed together now. That right there automatically lets you know that that's a future prophecy, right? It just take a little bit of common sense. And that's what I'm saying. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is not going to deal with these individuals if you can't even just study a little bit and tie these prophecies together, man. Revelations 19 and 10. Matter of fact, first of all, Isaiah 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony, they speak not according to this word. It is because there is no light in them. The Rakakadash makes no mistakes. All right. The Rakakadash makes no mistakes. I'm about to wrap it up. My wife done shopping. So you're not going to be coming in a defiled type of spirit. You're not going to be coming in Yahweh, Yeshua, Yahusha, Yahosha, whatever, Jesus. None of that, bro. You're going to be coming in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You're going to be Acts 4 and 12. You're going to be moving the correct way, the proper way at the end of the day. So with that being said, man, I'm going to wrap it up, you know. And Lord willing, I'll be live later on tonight. So all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone again, and Shalawam to the brothers. Alright. As always, Kwame Yasharahla and Abba to this wicked kingdom. Well, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day, sister. Shalawam to you and your household. Shalawam.